Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Hello and welcome to PENDREAM TV, your number one source for the latest political news and hottest debate in Ghana and beyond. Today we bring you a story making waves in Parliament. Public Account Committee has openly praised the newly appointed YEA CEO, Malik Basintale, for his remarkable fast learning skills and quick adaptation to leadership. But is this genuinely commendation or there is more to the story? Stay tuned as we break it down. Thank you.
Today, you seem to have moved from the keke to the keke.
But I must say that you have one of the best chief directors in the system. And so if you would coordinate with her and work very well with her, your reign as the CEO and the ministers as well will go well. Yeah.
Thank you, Madam.
Okay, so could you get an answer for this uneconomical rent payment?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The YEA has occupied our current facility since 2010. And initially, per my understanding, it was a government facility fully owned and managed by the Ministry of Works and Housing. And so the YEA in past times had not paid any amount in the form of rent to the Ministry of Works and Housing. Somewhere in 2023, the facility was handed over to the facility, a private, manager, that's K&A Facility Management Group. And the YEA sat and went into talks with them because the plan was now for the YEA to pay rent to the facility manager who manages the facility, and then you have the facility manager also pay an amount to the Works and Housing. Honorable Chair, let it be noted that in past it wasn't free, but because it was government to government, most often you find government agencies defaulting and paying their rents to other government agencies. So in the wisdom of the Ministry of Works and Housing, they thought that handing it over to a private manager will ensure that government agencies pay, because once you don't pay, then it means you are packing out of their facility. And so in 2023, the rent was paid. In 2024, the facility manager decided to upgrade a lot of amenities within the facility, and so it led to the astronomical rise of in rent payment. But in 2024, after 2024, after the audit review, we agreed with the recommendations made that the YEA should take steps in finding a permanent facility so we avoid the payment of rent. And so my minister and I had engaged, like he said, with the chief of staff to try and get us accommodation, a permanent place where we'll do away with rent payment. And I think that is in our interest, because if we have to spend about 4 million Ghana cedis paying rent, when we could have used that amount of money to 5 point something, when we could have used that amount of money in creating jobs for the young people out there. It goes a long way to support our cause. And so we are in talks to ensuring that we get a permanent place and we finally do away with rent payment. And so hopefully, Honorable Chair, by next year, I'm sure that plans would begin in getting us a permanent facility to operate from. Thank you.
Honorable, some officials from your outfit, who was there when this thing was done?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. My Director Finance was there.
So let him speak to it.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Since you were in there, let them speak to it.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think my internal auditor was part of the team who engaged with the facility manager. Unfortunately, he's here, so I would want him to give insight into that.
Okay, Mr. Chair.
Is a building for government?
Yes, the building is for works and housing.
Uh-huh.
Yes, so in 2022, we were summoned to the ministry, and then we were asked to contact KNA, which is a private company, to manage the facility because the facility is in somehow a bad shape. So after the discussion in 2023, then they brought a bill. So the bill is that if we are not able to pay, then we have to pack out and look for our own facility. So we were compelled to go by that since we're not having any facility at that moment. So, Mr. Chair, that is why we are still there and we are paying the rent.
Internal auditor.
Sir, so before 2022, what was the arrangement? Who gave you that facility? Is it from the presidency? Is it from your ministry? Because Works and Housing is a government agency. If Works and Housing, and their mandate is to provide such facilities to government agencies. Now, I won't fault them in engaging a third party as facility managers. But what was the arrangement? How much were you paying to Works and Housing before 2022?
Mr. Chair, before 2022, we were not paying, we were only doing maintenance. And the facility was given to us by our mother ministry.
And how much was the maintenance cost?
Mr. Chair, immediately I will not be able to remember the maintenance cost, but we can finish the committee later.
Give me a rough idea. I mean, you were in charge. You sat throughout the negotiations, so you have a fair idea of it.
Mr. Chair, with the maintenance of the facility, we had people who were maintaining the facility privately. It was not done by the Ministry or Western Housing, so I will not be able to give the figure immediately, but we can finish the committee later with the amount.
Well, so, sir, I mean, we can understand these things, but we are here to, save the public purse. That's why we are here. You were paying for it. You cannot even recollect the amount you were. It means that it was that small, for you. In 2022, 2023, you paid 3 million. 2023, 2024, you had an increment of about 76%. And you still went ahead and paid this money without raising queries to the ministry, without going back to your mother ministry, without going back to the presidency to complain. Is it because you had the money? The money was in your account, so you felt that you pay for it.
Mr. Chair, in fact, when the bill came, we went back to the ministry, and the ministry told us that they handed over the facility to KNA, so there's nothing they could do about it. And KNA was ready to eject us from the building. We didn't have any option than to pay.
Respectfully, there was no negotiations, there was nothing. Just because they told you if you don't pay, we'll get you out. But put yourself in this situation. If your landlord comes to you and tells you that I've handed over the building to a facility management company and we are increasing rent by 72.5%, would you have accepted it? 72.5% within one financial year. Would you have accepted it?
No, Madam Chair, in fact, with the payment of the rent, even the facility manager, according to him, he's supposed to start the rent collection from, 2019, but we had to plead with him. We had to plead with him to start the payment in 2023. Yes. Yes, so we've negotiated not even to pay the arrears. So we had to plead with him to start from 2023.
Internal auditor.
Excuse me, honorable members. The owner of the question needs to exhaust it. Then we all come in. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chairman. CEO, is there any written agreement? Is there any written communications between you, YEA, K&A?
Yes. Let's move on, please. The next infraction is on paragraph 2069, and Honorable Bao will take care of that one.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chief Executive Officer, the auditors during the examination of the salary PVs noticed that one Felix Usujima, the Nkwanta South Municipal Director of the agency, was appointed and confirmed as the Nkwanta South Municipal Chief Executive in February 2024. And so he was granted a leave of absence and was paid an unearned salary amounting to 37,413 Ghana cedis for 6 months period from March 2024 to August 2024. So the auditors recommended that the CEO should recover the said amount of 37,413 Ghana cedis from Honorable Felix Usujima and pay same into the Auditor General's recoveries account. So management responded that the said Honorable Felix Usujima has been duly notified of the anomaly to request the said amount, to refund the said amount into the Auditor General's recovery account. May I find out the status of this infraction and what you've done about the recommendation of the Auditor General?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Yeah, so we have also, this very officer is still up at post because he wrote a letter of leave of absence for 9 months. And after that, he came back to is it 6 months or 9 months? Yeah, so he asked for leave of absence. And after that, he has come back. So we have written to him that we paid him an unearned salary. So we are going to deduct it at source from his salary. And he has agreed to that. Thank you.
So this audit was done early this year. How much of the said amount have you recovered since he's now a staff? He has come back since he was on leave.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. So it is owing to the fact that we were doing the payroll audit. It is after the payroll audit that we realized he is still at post. So we have communicated to him after the audit that certain men's salaries have been paid to him, which he was not due for. And he has agreed that we deduct that from a source. Thank you.
When are you going to complete this internal audit that you are talking about, the payroll audit? When are you going to finish it? Because everything seems to hang on the payroll audit.
Honorable Chair, the audit is concluded, but the report is at the final stage. So
you paid him on any salary.
Yeah.
What is so difficult about collecting this?
He's still at post.
So why can't you have an agreement with him and collect the money?
Honorable Chair, we have done that. So we will start the deduction this month ending.
Do you have an agreement with him?
Yes.
Do the auditors have a copy of it?
Yes, we have a written letter to that effect.
Auditors, could you confirm, please?
Honorable Chair, we cited a letter written to Mr. Felix Jima to indicating the fact that they will be deducting from the Controller and Accountant General henceforth. So that is what we have. But actually, the money was paid into his account, and he was not supposed to earn the salary. So he's supposed to actually pay back and return the money. But
they have reached that agreement with him to deduct from source. So that is the situation.
How long is it going to take him to pay this amount?
We are taking 40% every month. So within a space of 3 to 4 months, we should be able to finish the deduction.
Chairman, what baffles me is that the man was appointed a DCE and was taking a DCE salary. After leaving office, what I know is that when their appointments were terminated, they were paid 3 months' salary. And so the man has the money. Why is he going to pay this money with interest or what? Because the man has got the money, he should pay back. I don't get that this money should not be deducted. You be paying by installment. I don't understand.
Honorable Chair, your advice in using alternative means of recovering the money has been duly noted, and I can assure the Venerable Committee that we shall recover the money ASAP. Thank you very much.
Chairman, in addition to what the CEO just said, this is a former DC. You can equally tie it to his ex gratia, and you take it as source. He cannot run away from this. But Mr. Felix, you are an honorable person. You served as DC Chief Executive before. Don't run away from these things. It's not good for your image.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the further alternative means of recovery, and we have duly noted it. Thank you.
Honorable Jasso.
Mr. Chair, the auditors also recommend that the amount should be recovered with interest. So, auditors, the letter that you cited, did it calculate this interest in addition? If not, then whatever the CEO is promising to do, I think that you should take note of the request, in fact, the requirement of interest being paid in addition and act accordingly.
Thank you.
All right. The next infraction is unearned allowance, paragraph 2077, and Honorable Frankie Abua will take care of that.
Thank you, Chairman. The infraction is on paragraph 2077 to 2080. In performing their duty at YEA in Tiobodom District, the auditors noted that 7 officials or officers vacated their posts close to 6 months. However, YEA continued to pay allowances to them for this 6-month period, amounting to 21,000 Ghana cedi. In other words, that action cost the state 21,000 Ghana cedi. See, the auditors recommended that the district director of YEA in Tiobodom in the Bunu East region should recover the total amount of 21,000 plus interest at the Bank of Ghana prevailing rate and pay same into the Auditor General's recoveries account at the Bank of Ghana. So what's the status of the recovery? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. We had taken steps to recover the said amount. The final letter was written to them on the 17th of July to ensure they recover the full amount. And Honorable Chair, I can assure the committee that if this letter is defied, we would go after them and ensure that they recover the full amount. It was because there was a little transition in leadership, and so the new district director was finding it a bit difficult locating the said persons. But we have written to them, we have instructed that this will be the final request, and if they don't respond, we shall go after them in the coming days. Thank you very much.
Mr. CEO, if you look at paragraph 2078, the table there, apart from Portia Nyako, who was stationed at Tiobodom Health Center, the remaining 6 were working at Beauty Care. Is it a private entity or government?
Thank you very much. There are subsidiaries, private entities that have been awarded a contract of training these persons. And so they are trained by the private entities, but they are validated by our monitoring and evaluation directors. And so all these persons were being trained by the private entity, and they advocated posts. There was a delayance in communicating that to us, and so they were paid, but we've instructed that all those monies be recovered in the coming days. Thank you very much.
So is it the case that they did not inform you when they vacated their post or what? I don't understand. Because if they are validated before, you pay them every month. How come you couldn't notice that they vacated posts and you continue to pay them for 6 additional months?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. As indicated, this is in relation to our office in Tiobodom. And this audit was done by the district auditors in Tiobodom. So we have not cited this report, and we were not having this information until it was brought to our notice.
The Auditor General always gives a management letter stating all the infractions that they have cited against the agency. So if you come and tell us that you haven't cited this particular one, meaning you did not prepare, all that you're telling us is something that you are just saying on top of your head. But clearly, if you had attached any seriousness to the management letter, you would have found it in there. Auditors, was this in the management letter, please?
Yes, Honorable Chair. So we audited the Tuabodom section of it, and management letter was issued. A copy will be sent to the head office. So I'm sure they should have a copy.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The explanation to this is that there are various districts in the regions are also audited separately by the various audit offices in the districts. And when they issue the report is issued to the district management. So if, yes, no, it was not in the management letter given to us. The main management letter that we have all the issues in that we are resolving, that one wasn't part. We only saw it in the Auditor General's report. But because they fall under us, then quickly we have to take steps to find out how that issue has been resolved. So the management letter might have been issued to the district without them forwarding it to the head office. Thank you.
So you are saying the district kept it. The district did not do anything about it. And here you are having to answer to it. CEO,
exactly the case, Honorable
do the
Chair.
needful.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, my last one.
Okay.
My last one.
Your last.
Mr. CEO and the finance audit. If you look at paragraph 2080, it was made clear that management did not respond to the recommendation given by the auditors. So if, per what you're saying, it looks as if you don't have control over the operations at the district offices. Because you know how important external audit is. For them to have come to Tiobodom to perform an audit, giving you the chance to respond, let's say 5 working days, you didn't respond. They issued a management letter. You didn't respond to this particular one. Now, final audit report. CEO is sitting here talking as if he doesn't know anything about it. Let me say you don't know for what you said. So how are you putting measures in place so that you can have control over all the district offices or the municipal offices? Because you can't have an audit and you won't respond. It cuts across. Everywhere, the management didn't respond. Sometimes they'll come and sit there and tell you that, oh, they've done it, they've paid. If I responded, maybe it won't find its way in this report. Look at the printing. This booklet is printed with taxpayers' money. I'm just saying, because of the fact that they don't respond to audits, it's becoming a problem. So maybe, Mr. Chairman, we may have to look at it and put some measures there. Otherwise, every time we come and sit here, they will come and the report will be issued. They will go and pay and just take taxpayers' money to come and sit here and come and tell us that it's paid. So that's my issue.
Just a minute, please. Who is Victor Wanda Kuto?
Honorable Chair, he's the Director, Human Resource.
Now, we were talking about Honorable Felix Owusu Jima. And if you look at the auditor's report, paragraph 2071, he's supposed to pay $37,413. That is with interest at the prevailing Bank of Ghana rate. Now, this Wanda Victor Kuto, Esquire, writes to Mr. Jima and tells Mr. Jima to pay $15,902. What's the story? Why is he paying $15,000?
Honorable Chair, I am not privy to this letter, and I cannot speak to it.
This is letter from YEA, dated
4th August. No, March. 4th March.
This is 4th March 2025. That was the responses you guys gave us.
Mr. Chair, I'm sure it could be an error because the amount is 37,000.
Come on.
No, Mr. Chair, I'm saying that with the amount in the report is 37,000, but it's not 15,000.
Okay. So the letter. So where is a copy of the letter for the 37,000? Do you have a copy of it? Do you have a copy of that letter?
Honorable Chair, we will provide the House with a copy of the new letter that was written, because whether we like it or not, the full amount must be recovered, and
Yes.
the new letter was written to reflect.
There are two
this
issues.
amount. Yes, sir.
One for 15,000 and another one for 37,000.
Rightly so. So, Honorable Chair, the letter for the 37,000 was written. We shall provide a copy of that letter to the House.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Sorry, just a quick one. You will see that in the last infraction, an earned allowance, this was allowed to stay for 6 whole months. So with a new CEO and team in place, I just want to find out from you what internal control measures you are putting in place to ensure the non-recurrence of this kind of infraction. We don't want to have you here next year sitting to answer this kind of questions that are avoidable, actually. Yes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I inherited assets and liabilities, and governance is an ongoing concern. It's in our interest to make it better so we don't repeat mistakes of the past. We've ensured that trainings are conducted at the various district and regional levels, because most of our infractions borders down on monitoring and evaluation, because if our monitoring and evaluation system is solid, we won't have to pay all these unearned salaries. What we mean is that if someone vacates post today, we'll be able to detect it, and payment of salaries and allowances will stop for that same period. And so we have decided to conduct training exercises and for the validators, and also for our district directors, so we're able to monitor and validate it. So I can assure the committee that errors of this kind shall not be repeated again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much. I just want to draw your attention to the PFM regulation, section 96(2). It says that, 1, who does your payroll? Is it a controlling accountant general, or is it effected at your end?
Honorable, is done at our end.
If it's done at your end, and the regulations, section 96(2) says that a covered entity which is not on the payroll of controlling accountant general shall be guided by the cycle provided under sub-regulation 1. And this is it. I'm just letting you know that before you embark on any payroll, you have to update the personal records of your staff. 2, you need to do a payroll test run, correct the payroll, and then have a final validation before you pay. And then once you get your final payroll, you effect the payment to the employees, to their banks, and not to be given to them in their hands, but to their banks. So that if you say you are setting up systems, this is how you should go about setting up the system. So that come next year, we didn't want to have a lot of these infractions on unearned salaries, payroll, whatever. You will have to abide by section 96 of the PFM regulations. If you do that, it will go a long way to take away these infractions that are cited by the Auditor General. And to conclude, I want to find out from your end, what is it that a lot of people are saying they have worked for close to 8 months, they haven't been paid? So that if you are going according to this, we shouldn't have that cry in the system. So once you are here, and you being a public servant and offering public service, I think you owe it a duty to explain to the people of Ghana what is happening and how you are going to address this, if truly that is the case.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. Let me first commend you, and thank you very much for your wise counsel. We shall use it in our training exercises, and also draw the attention to the Public Financial Management Act clauses, so we do not repeat such errors again. The issue with the 8 months non-payment has got to do with our beneficiaries. When, like I said, Honorable Chair, when I took over office, we realized that we had inherited assets and liabilities. It was in our interest to streamline the processes at the Youth Employment Agency. And in doing that, or in doing so, we decided to conduct a beneficiary audit to ascertain the number of persons still at work. Usually, when you hear of ghost names, it's not always the case that people put in fraudulent details of persons who were purported to have been at work. Sometimes these real people were employed, but at some point they vacated posts. And so if you don't validate, if you don't audit, you will not be able to ascertain the number of persons actively working, and you will not be able to effect payments. And so we decided to conduct several validations, several monitoring, and then to ensure to ascertain the number of persons still at work. A month ago, we concluded all validations, and then we were able to ascertain the real persons at post, and we started the processes. But, Honorable Chair, as you know, we would always have to receive our influence from controller before we're able to effect payment. So as of this morning, 2 months arrears have been paid, and the beneficiaries have received that already. Anyone who hasn't received was not at the validation point, and we cannot pay someone else who would come back here next year to respond to questions of unearned salaries. And so by next 2 weeks, we shall effect payment for 2 more months again, because we've received some inflows, and then by the end
How
of
many
next
months
month,
do you have in terms of the arrears? How many months?
it depends on the engagement period, because some are engaged for 2 months, some who have their contracts expired, others have their contracts ongoing. We haven't laid anyone off. All those who have running contracts till 2026 have been left in the system. They're Ghanaian people, and they must enjoy the fruit of their labor. And so we have decided that
2 days ago, Honorable Suhini was here, and what I told him was sometimes it is good to taste power. Your language and everything changes. And I'm glad you have learned quickly that it is not the Choboy and things, but rather serving your people, I mean, with diligence, with respect and humility. And so I'm glad that quickly you have put on that public service role. And this is what is expected of every Ghanaian who is put into a public service role. And you have mentioned that you are going to take steps to pay them. I pray and hope that it happens, that people who haven't been paid for 6 months, 8 months, 2 months, 3 months, and provided they are on the payroll and they have been validated, please go ahead and do it as soon as possible. But like you said, they are also Ghanaians and they need to enjoy the benefits of their work. So on this note, I think I'd like to thank you for what you have done so far.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. The Honorable OPK has advised that Chief, you don't do KKK again.
Yeah. Chief, just a quick one. With respect to the validation, there are persons under the Zoom Lion program. And for instance, in my constituency, I have a major challenge. Every time I get calls from persons who are involved in your thing. Now, look at the salary that this gentleman is given. He has to travel some 1.5 hours to the validation center. Sometimes it misses the people who come all the way from Koforidua to validate them. And for that month, his salary will not be paid because he could not travel. I mean, can't we have a way of doing, the validation without him traveling? I mean, spending a whole month's salary to travel from one point to the other. Can't we have a system where you can validate?
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I'm happy to inform you that these are the new measures we are taking to ensure that our officers, our staff, move closer to the beneficiaries. Like you rightly said, the amount they get is termed as, just an allowance. In fact, if you compare what they get to the kind of work they do, it's a bit regrettably, unfortunate, but they would have to survive with it. And so this time we've ensured that our district monitoring and evaluation officers move closer to them. So the agencies that manage them know their whereabouts and they know where they are designated. So our staff should go there and validate them instead of waiting for them to come to the district offices for validation. It causes a lot of stress. And so there are the new reforms we've brought on board, and we shall ensure that they are strictly adhered to. Thank you very much.
Well, if you do that, I'm going to give you a crrr for this. Yeah. Honorable Gape.
Yeah, Chairman, thank you very much. This question, advice goes to the internal auditor. You see, it is becoming clear that our various institutions, the internal audit is not on top of their job. Otherwise, some of the infractions we are having here, we shouldn't have been getting them. Is it the case that the institutions and the agencies are not allowing the internal auditors to do their work? Internal auditor.
Mr. Chair, as far as YEA is concerned, the internal auditor is empowered to do his work. And we don't have any issues as far as YEA is concerned.
On this note, Honorable CEO, you are discharged.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching PENDREAM TV. Malik Basintale receiving a real praise from PAC has sparked new conversation about leadership and performance in Ghana's public sector. Do you think this is a sign of truth, competence, or just political hype? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thank you as well for staying tuned, and do keep watching PENDREAM TV. Thank you.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.